find the Alabama Hills.
I'm sure there's signs.
I am a 71-year-old woman who loves to camp and travel. Most of the time, I take my little Schnauzer Snickers with me. I belong to 4 lady camp groups, and one I started in my area. One of the reasons we bought the Minnie Winnie was so I could go more on my own or with my lady camper groups. My channel, Crafty Traveler, isn't only about crafting, it's about being crafty smart. When traveling, camping, quilting, and doing crafts. After visiting the Western Historical Movie Museum in Lone Pine, we are headed to the Alabama Hills. The Alabama Hills are located 2 miles south and west of Lone Pine, the junction of 395 and Highway 136. The area of the Alabama Hills are a formation of rounded rocks and eroded hills set behind the jagged peaks of the Sierra Nevada and the geologically complex Inyo Mountains. Both geologic features were shaped by the same uplifting occurring 100 million years ago. The area of the Alabama Hills is managed by the Bureau of Land Management. Visitors enjoy touring film sites, photography, rock climbing, exploring natural arches, and viewing the swaths of wildflowers that bloom every spring. In March of 2019, Congress designated the Alabama Hills as a National Scenic Area as part of the John Dingell Jr. Conservation. Visitors like to come and take pictures of the scenery of the Alabama Hills and follow the movie road, which shows over 400 movie sites that have been filmed in the Alabama Hills. It is mostly for day use. They are now advising using designated campgrounds and not camping in the Alabama Hills as people have in the past. Here's a fun fact. The Alabama Hills were named for the CSS Alabama, a Confederate warship whose exploits during the Civil War impressed California miners sympathetic to the Confederate cause. When the ship was sunk by the USS Kearsarge, miners that were for the Union named a mountain pass a town and a mountain peak after the CSS Kearsarge.
It just keeps getting better and better. So.
The TV shows and movies that were filmed in the Alabama Hills were classics like Gunga Din, The Walking Hills, The Lone Ranger, many of Western movies, and some more modern sci-fi movies like Tremors and Star Trek and Iron Man.
Wait, you might be able to get it back here. It looks like a few other people have done it.
Oh, yes. Let's see what this rock says. I can't really read it. Never mind.
Movie road.
Movie road.
This definitely looks like westerns now, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
If you haven't seen my video on the Historic Western Movie Museum in Lone Pine, I'll post it above, and you'll see how many westerns were really made in this area, as well as commercials and other movies. Vegetation in the Alabama Hills is sparse, making the rock formations the star of the landscape. But if you visit in the spring, you will find the area bright with wildflowers, from the pink prairie smoke to the red desert paintbrush. There are many species of birds and other wildlife that live in the Alabama hills. Birders should bring their binoculars. Some of the birds that have been spotted here include the California quail, red-tailed hawk, turkey vultures, and rock hens. We are now in the Alabama hills. It's pretty sunny. Hard to see Mount Whitney up there. The rocks of the Alabama hills. We're on Movie Road. Alabama Hills, there's a hole in that rock up there. There are 4 different arches located in the Alabama Hills. I believe this is the Heart Arch. Did you see the heart in the arch? Those rock formations look familiar, like I've seen them in a movie before. You may see lizards and other small creatures while visiting the Alabama Hills, but bird sightings are much more likely during the day. There are rattlesnakes that call the hills home, so watch where you put your hands and feet and give the snake plenty of room if you encounter one. Where to stay when you come to see the Alabama Hills? There are hotels in Lone Pine and Big Pine that you can stay, but the Alabama Hills have some dispersed camping with no facilities and no fees. You can pitch a tent or park your RV in a secluded spot and enjoy the wilderness, but you must bring your own water, pack out your garbage and waste. Be careful to camp only in obvious clearings so you don't harm vegetation. Unfortunately, many of the designated camp areas have now been designated no camping. We did not see any designated camp areas on the day we visited. I'm sure there may be around some of the other trails that you could find on a map. When is the best time of year to visit the Alabama Hills? Every season in the desert is beautiful in its own way, but spring and fall are the best times to visit the Alabama Hills. We were there in mid-September and the temperature was in the 80s. Temperatures during these seasons of spring and fall are moderate, and daytime weather is perfect for hiking and being outdoors. Spring brings the dynamic colors of wildflowers to the desert landscape, and fall brings changing leaf colors. A lone tree in the Alabama Hills is the subject of many photos when it turns bright yellow in the fall. What type of vehicle should one have when visiting the Alabama Hills? Movie Flat Road is graded dirt and considered passable to regular vehicles in dry conditions. Most other dirt roads in the Alabama Hills may require four-wheel drive. There are quite a few dirt roads that are hard-packed, and even RVs can go on them. This is my first visit to the Alabama Hills, and I will return. I want to return with my sketch pad and watercolor paints in hand and paint some of these rocks, as well as the Sierras. I'd like to come back in the spring to see the wildflowers and to see snow on the Sierra peaks. that would be a beautiful backdrop for all these rough, rugged rocks. Now we're headed to Big Pine to the Copper Top BBQ. It's just at the north end of town of Big Pine. It's a red building with a big red sign and numerous copper tops on their barbecue right out front. Copper Top food, Copper Top barbecue. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little video of the tour of the Alabama Hills. It's a beautiful area with great views of the Sierras and Mount Whitney. And now we're eating dinner at the Copper Top BBQ in Big Pine. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. Comment, share, and subscribe, and stay crafty. Thank you for watching the entire video.